GameStop. It is no secret that the company's not been making very smart decisions as of late, especially with them tripling down on NFTs. This is their GameStop NFT website where you can explore their collections or individual NFTs, and this is what they hope will save their dying business. I guess only time will tell how that will pan out. But what we do know is that so far that venture has not been going particularly well, with news outlet Ars Technica reporting on July 12, 2022 that GameStop's NFT marketplace earned the company just $45,000 in the first day. After months of hype, the retailer may have missed the NFT gravy train. They got in just as NFTs and crypto were essentially collapsing or crashing, and then we got an update on that front from Ars Technica some days later on July 18th, 2022. Analysis: GameStop NFT trading slows in marketplace's first week. Retailers earning $25,000 a day. That's down from the $45,000 they earned on their first day. And looking at the graph shown here, you can see that the trend isn't looking particularly positive. There's definitely a plateauing of the NFT marketplace. And then, as if that wasn't bad enough, more recently it's been reported that GameStop's NFT marketplace has the worst revenue day since opening. Basically, folks over at the Wall Street Bets subreddit who are keeping track of GameStop's NFT market have shared data relaying the low amount of trading happening within GameStop's NFT environment, with this headline reading that GameStop's NFT market just had its worst 24 hours yet, at one point making as little as $13.40 in revenue per hour. So roughly minimum wage is what GameStop has been making in their recent worst days. Now, it is noted right here that minting was shut off till Monday as of the publishing of this Reddit post, so yeah, you would see a decline in transactions, and sure, that may have contributed to GameStop seeing its worst 24 hours in NFT trading, but it doesn't change the fact that you don't need to mint new NFTs for NFT trading to happen. And just when it comes to NFT trading, the numbers are not looking particularly encouraging. It's not looking like this is something that will be an explosive business venture, a lucrative business venture for GameStop as of yet. Plenty of people pointing out, so a temporary halt of new mints means the entire market of already minted NFTs grinds to a halt. Or I thought that the value wasn't in minting, but in the trading back and forth of the NFTs. Minting introduces new NFTs, which encourages further trading, but indeed, if this was a healthy ecosystem, would still see plenty of trading happening, and that's just not been the case. Beyond that, you've got this recent controversy where GameStop, due to a lack of vetting the kinds of NFTs that get released on their platform, had to take down a specific NFT that referenced a 9/11 victim. I wish I were joking, but as you can see right here, this NFT was very much inspired by the Falling Man photo. You can look it up. I'm not going to show that here. But for those who know what that is, you'll know that, making an NFT out of that is of particularly poor taste to profit off of a rather traumatic event. A Reset Air post further highlighted this. Nothing else that really needs to be said here. This is friggin' disgusting. Link is in the spoiler tag if you want to see, but basically it's the infamous Falling Man picture, but with an astronaut helmet on. Clicking on the link would take you to this page right here. Now, I am seeing this through Wayback Machine. This is what the listing originally looked like. But if you click on the link now and try to see what that page looks like, you would just find a blank page, which means that GameStop has already removed the NFT due to backlash. In fact, 13 days ago, a Redditor posted the following screenshot of a private message that they received from GameStop where they said that this NFT will be removed from our marketplace entirely. This user has already had their minting ability removed from their account, and we have already been in direct contact with the creator about these actions. We appreciate you letting us know about this issue. And then on Twitter, they also straight up confirmed on July 23rd, 2022 that certain collections violated our terms of service, which resulted in the NFTs being suspended from our marketplace. You'll still be able to transfer these NFTs to Layer 1 in between wallets, but they cannot be sold on our marketplace. And then the cherry on top to this whole fiasco is that the astronaut model used in the Falling Man NFT was plagiarized from the Blender marketplace, where somebody uploaded this 3D render of an astronaut. This is the model that was used for the NFT. You can actually see right here, it's got that same kind of almost umbilical cord looking thing sticking out of the helmet that can be seen represented in the Blender artwork as well. It's pretty obvious that it's a direct ripoff of this Blender asset, which is par for the course for the NFT landscape, the outright theft of somebody else's work and property to be sold as an investment opportunity, a lucrative monetization venture that just takes advantage of other people's artwork, and in this case also exploits one of the worst events in American history alongside one of the most disturbing photos, all for the sake of profit, all for the sake of monetization. But the woes surrounding GameStop NFTs don't end there, as more cases of plagiarism have cropped up. Just today, on August 5th, 2022, Ars Technica released the following report, whose headline reads, "Indie developers outraged by unlicensed game sales on GameStop's NFT market." So right down here, you'll find all the details. The Nifty Arcade collection of NFTs stood out from the pack of GameStop NFTs. The collection provided interactive NFTs linked to HTML5 games that were fully playable from an owner's crypto wallet or from the GameStop marketplace page itself. There's a page on GameStop's website that answers the question of what is an interactive NFT, and they say that an interactive NFT is a bit different. The user interacts with it like a website, game, or app, so it's not just a JPEG or a GIF or an MP4 video. Now, it'd be one thing if the NFT creator created their own simple game to be sold as an NFT, but this collection takes other people's work and sells it off as if it was their own without permission, and plenty of developers spoke out about this through Ars Technica. Many of those NFT games are being minted and sold without their creators' permission, much less any arrangement for the creators to share in any crypto profits. While the man behind Nifty Arcade has since been suspended from GameStop's NFT marketplace, good, he's still holding on to the tens of thousands of dollars in cryptocurrency he made by selling those NFTs before the suspension. While no longer listed on the GameStop NFT marketplace, the unlicensed games themselves can still be accessed on GameStop servers and across a blockchain-based file storage system, where they may now be functionally impossible to remove. That's the double-edged sword to how secure blockchain is that if something gets put into the blockchain ecosystem in a nefarious way, that just won't go away. Ars Technica actually reached out to the creator of Nifty Arcade, Nathan Elo, who told Ars Technica that his desire was to highlight potential use cases for NFTs beyond static images. But then when Ars Technica retorted by asking him about the utility of turning these games into NFTs rather than keeping them playable for free on the web, which is just a lot more convenient, Elo got a bit abstract, Ars Technica reports, when asked to explain the utility of freshly minted NFT versions of games that were already freely playable elsewhere on the web. This is the direct quote Ars Technica got from him. "If people find value in these NFTs, that's a bonus, but my intent is to create and showcase games that are playable within NFT marketplaces and within NFT wallets. Should someone want the convenience of playing the game directly from their wallet or their own profile page on the marketplace without having to navigate to mine, then they're welcome to buy a copy." He acts as if this is actually a useful feature, but how is that any different from bookmarking the HTML5 games link and just directly going there on the device that you want to play it on? The NFT aspect offers nothing new except for the ability for somebody to steal a game and then monetize from that. That's the thing about NFTs. Anytime somebody's asked for an explanation about the utility of the NFT aspect itself, nobody can come up with a good answer. They'll spout some bullshit like this, where it's, about the convenience of accessing something from your wallet when it's just as easily accessible outside the wallet, if anything, more conveniently accessible. And this guy is saying, hey, buy the game from me so you get the NFT version of something that's already available. If anything, that extra layer of minting that game into an NFT makes that less convenient, less accessible for the vast majority. It's just a piss poor explanation, and that is commonplace when anybody's asked what are the benefits of NFT. I'm still waiting for someone to convince me that NFTs are actually useful rather than exploitative in nature, that NFTs can actually bring something new and beneficial to us rather than it just being a hype word for stuff that you can already do without NFTs, but with NFTs it just becomes more monetizable. The article further details how Elo ended up selling hundreds of NFTs based on the Nifty Arcade Collection's first 3 games, making at least 46.7 Ethereum, worth about $55,000 at the time from those sales as of July 15th. But for at least 2 of those games, Worm, Nom Nom, and Galactic Wars, Elo admitted he never sought the necessary permission from the original creators before selling them. There is also evidence that Elo minted and distributed a number of other games through NFT marketplaces without the creators' permission, including Breakout Hero, Super Discbox, and Invader Overload, according to Joseph Lexlawful White, the creator of the Pico 8 pixel game engine. Now, GameStop did remove this collection due to backlash, but if you use Wayback Machine, you can see what the Nifty Arcade Collection looked like on GameStop's NFT marketplace, and two of those games listed here are in fact Worm Nom Nom and Galactic Wars, which are plagiarized games, which this user did not have permission to rip off and then mint into NFTs and then sell them for profit. Now, Nifty Arcade tried to put out the defense that for one of the games, Galactic Wars, it was listed here that the game was unlicensed, and so he is claiming that he thought this was public domain, and that's why he minted it into an NFT, though now the game's assets are listed on the page under a non-commercial Creative Commons license. But White, the creator of the Pico 8 engine, said he doesn't buy the argument that Elo was just being careless. Quote, "It would be easier to accept Galactic Wars as an honest mistake if not for Nifty's stubborn response and history of minting other Pico 8 games that had even clearer non-commercial licensing. If this was something that happened once or twice, then maybe it'd be believable that this was a mistake, but the fact that there is a proven track record of Nifty Arcade ripping games and minting them and selling them as NFTs for profit, despite clear warnings that there is a license surrounding those games, indicates that this guy probably doesn't really care about whether something's licensed or not licensed, or at least didn't until he got called out for it and got into trouble for it. Not to mention that it doesn't matter whether somebody else's work is licensed or unlicensed, whether it's public domain or not, because if you're minting somebody else's work, you're still just taking somebody else's work for your own profit instead of coming up with something genuinely new. I mean, there's all this talk about how NFTs are all about creation, but so much of NFTs is about taking other people's creation, stealing other people's creativity for money. Ars Technica then dives into some quotes from developers whose work were stolen. So this is what Galactic Wars creator Borja Detena told Ars Technica. "This person didn't contact me to ask me anything. He just took my game and sold it. If you want to profit from my work, I think you should at least ask." Only after getting pushback from the creators and others in the Pico 8 community did Elo say he offered 100% of the primary market B2C proceeds from each of the original NFT sales to the original developer of those games. But that kind of after-the-fact profit-sharing offer was pretty insulting to some developers. Here's what Breakout Hero developer Christian Majeski told Ars: "My work was sold for profit without my consent. Even if somebody wanted to return the money they made off of my work, it would be in the form of some shitty crypto anyway." That's the thing that these plagiarists don't understand. You offering restitution after the fact doesn't change the principle of the thing. It doesn't change the fact that you took somebody else's work and you did your own thing with it without their permission, that you took advantage of somebody else's creativity. You paying off the people you've wronged doesn't mean that the wrong thing you did suddenly becomes right. Your actions were an insult, a disrespect to the artists, and money doesn't just make up for that. You offering profit sharing doesn't make up for that insult. Ars Technica then highlights the permanent damage of minting somebody else's work, somebody else's game. Hundreds of NFTs Elo already minted and sold before his suspension still exist on the Loopring Ethereum Level 2 blockchain. That means those NFTs can still be sold or traded on other marketplaces, even if GameStop's own marketplace no longer considers them legitimate, which means the damage is already done and people will continue to profit off of somebody else's work. The games that those NFTs point to are still live on GameStop's gstop-content.com servers. That means a user with the right link can still get GameStop servers to provide a playable unlicensed copy of the Pico 8 games discussed above, all without the approval of those games' creators. It also means that users who own a Nifty Arcade NFT can still play those games directly in their crypto wallets through GameStop servers. So while GameStop did ban Nifty Arcades and they did delist that collection, it doesn't change the fact that the games, the NFT-fied games that were stolen, they're still up there, they're still accessible. Those games turned into NFTs have just been made less visible, but the core issue hasn't been resolved. Ars Technica further details that GameStop makes use of the Interplanetary File System IPFS standard, which uses the blockchain to distribute copies of uploaded files across multiple server nodes. Thus, an IPFS link could continue to point to an unauthorized copy of Galactic Wars hosted somewhere on the IPFS network, even if GameStop removes its own copy from its servers. So even if GameStop wanted to, ultimately that content cannot be removed because it's up on IPFS and the blockchain. It's done. That's there forever. The damage is permanent. All GameStop can do at this point is mitigate the problem. GameStop could still remove the unlicensed content from its own IPFS gateway and or update the GameStop wallet to hide content that breaks the company's rules. But that's still not a complete solution, though better than nothing. Ars Technica then highlights a quote from White. He says that he's 100% focused on getting unauthorized games delisted from GameStop servers and has filed DMCA takedown requests to that effect with no response thus far. He said he'd also like GameStop to set up some sort of screening process for newly minted NFTs on its marketplace to prevent seemingly irreversible problems like this from happening in the future. The fact that an infrastructure for a screening process to vet what NFTs are uploaded isn't in place just goes to highlight the kind of venture this is. GameStop doesn't care about safety. It's not about protecting customers and creators. It's not about driving creativity. It's just about getting to the gold rush as fast as possible. They'd rather rush this out than ensure all of the proper systems and all of the proper safety systems are put in place before this stuff is exposed to the public. And White believes that a screening process is unlikely to be put into place if it isn't legally required. At the very least, there should be a reliable and painless content takedown process, but in my experience, GameStop isn't even offering that because they don't give a shit. They don't care about the exploitation that occurs in this environment. They just want to get this thing up and running to keep investors happy in the hopes that this will take off and will save their dying company. There's already legal action happening behind the scenes. Attorney Jonathan Leuterman, who is said to be representing at least one affected Pico 8 developer, told Ars Technica that discussions with ELO's legal counsel are ongoing. I'm cautiously optimistic we can reach a mutually satisfactory understanding. And then there are NFT customers who bought the unauthorized Nifty Arcade NFTs who can no longer trade their NFTs through GameStop's marketplace. Elo said that on that front, he's considering either offering a buyback program for the NFT's original initial primary market sale price or airdropping new authorized game NFTs into affected customers' wallets. In this last section, Ars Technica provides more quotes from developers. For some developers, it's the principle of their games being distributed without permission that matters more than any financial upside they might have missed out on. Again, unlike NFT bros who claim it's all about driving creativity when it's really about exploiting creativity for money, actual creatives, people who make art, care about the artwork itself. They take pride in their work, and it's not about making all the money. No matter how much money you offer that creative, they're still going to see it as a spit to their face, especially given that you got their work involved in a scene that these developers don't support. Plenty of creatives out there, plenty of developers are completely against NFTs, and you, without their consent, took their work and made it a part of something that they are against. Here's another quote from developer Majewski. I'm a small developer doing non-commercial projects to teach people how to make their own games. NFTs are a net loss for me even if I don't participate. It's just another tax on my time and energy. On top of the fact that developers have to waste time and energy dealing with this whole situation, valuable time and energy that could have been spent developing their games or just doing anything else that's more productive, it can also be a waste of money because some folks will be lawyering up. As I said, there's already an attorney involved here who's representing at least one affected Pico 8 developer. That's money that went towards a lawyer that didn't have to go there had they not have to deal with Nifty Arcade's plagiarism and theft. Affected developers also put the blame on GameStop for creating a platform and incentive structure for this kind of predatory practice. Empowerment of the creators was never the goal because, as we can see, no thought was given to any effective protection mechanisms or support services. I'll emphasize again, GameStop doesn't care about creators. They care about the ecosystem that can yield profit. That's what they want to focus on. That's what they're rushing towards. Here's another developer who chimed in with the platform should assume their responsibility too. They could have any verification process, but they just want their money and commissions or revenue shares, I guess. Power to the creators is fake, 100%. And that's not just GameStop, but it could be said about so much of what NFTs currently are. Last but not least, it's a disgrace, obviously, but at the same time, it's par for the course for NFT projects, isn't it? That's what the tech is for, to defer and eschew responsibility. This is where the real maliciousness of NFT projects like this lies. It's all exploit first, ask questions later. It's not about evaluating the technology's actual potential uses and only launching this when it's ready to be launched, when the proper measures are put into place. It's just about chase the money, chase the hype, chase the gold rush. And as long as there's nothing that can legally harm them, especially with laws being so young surrounding NFTs and metaverse and all these things, they're happy to just let shadiness be shady. To close off this video, I encourage everyone to visit the following ironically titled website, web3isgoinggreat.com, which features a timeline of shady occurrences surrounding NFTs, including the GameStop stuff we have talked about, alongside plenty of others. Scrolling through here, you'll really find all the reasons not to partake in NFTs, why cryptos are currently dangerous in their current implementation, why metaverse and Web3 and all this crap is bound to fail if this is how this landscape will continue to conduct itself, if this is the level of lack of security and lack of purpose that NFTs will serve, that Web3 will serve with what's currently being presented about them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is everything you need to know about the latest developments surrounding GameStop's NFT marketplace launch, which has been going rather poorly. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on all of this and what you think the future holds for GameStop NFTs and for GameStop as a company as a whole. And to be further updated on all things gaming news, reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on Young Yeah. I'll see you guys next time. Young out.